Hello and welcome to Millennium Sports World. Today we have brought local and international sports stories including tennis, world soccer, golf, basketball, auto race, cricket and some more sports news. So let's see what's waiting in today's sports world. At first, let's have some latest tennis stories. Czech Marketa Vondrousova has emerged victorious over Tunisia's Ons Jabeur 6-4, 6-4 to become the first unseeded player in the professional era to win the Wimbledon women's singles title. The 24-year-old left-hander, who a year ago needed wrist surgery, proved too steady in Saturday's final for the error-strewn Jabeur, who ended up as runner-up for the second successive year. As the first unseeded woman in the Wimbledon final in 60 years, Vondrousova was a heavy underdog against 6th-ranked Jabeur. Jabeur was bidding to become the first Arab player to win a Grand Slam title and the first African woman to lift one of the four major trophies, but she was well below her best. Jabeur's anxiety was clear as her unforced error total reached double figures in another wild game that gave Vondrousova a 5-4 advantage that she gratefully seized to serve out the set. Vondrousova made it 5 games in a row when Jabeur's weak forehand gifted her a break in the opening game of the second set. Breaking twice in 3 games, Jabeur moved 3-1 up, only to falter again as the ninth break of the match allowed Vondrousova back into the set. It was an opportunity the Czech was not going to spurn as Jabeur's unforced errors reached 31 by the final game. In contrast to Jabeur's meltdown, Vondrousova remained ice-cool and sealed her unexpected triumph with a perfect volley before falling to the turf in delight. Vondrousova joins Martina Navratilova, Jana Novotná and Petra Kvitova as the only Czech-born women to win a Wimbledon title. She is just the 9th unseeded champion at a Grand Slam tournament. Carlos Alcaraz defeated 7-time champion Novak Djokovic to claim his first Wimbledon title on Sunday, shattering the Serb's dream of a record equaling 24th Grand Slam crown. World number 1 Alcaraz recovered from dropping the first set and saving a set point in the second to win 1-6, 7-6, 6-1, 3-6, 6-4 after 4 hours and 42 minutes on center court. It was the second major for the 20-year-old Spaniard following his US Open title last year as he became Wimbledon's third youngest men's champion. The result will also spark feverish speculation over the start of a generational shift, with 36-year-old Djokovic carrying the torch of the Big Three now that Roger Federer is retired and Rafael Nadal is sidelined, perhaps permanently. Australian Open and French Open champion Djokovic had been bidding to equal Federer's record of 8 Wimbledon titles and match Margaret Court's all-time mark of 24 slams. When he won his first major at the Australian Open in 2008, Alcaraz was still 3 months shy of his 5th birthday. Djokovic was playing in his 9th final at Wimbledon and 35th at the majors, while for Alcaraz it was just the second in the slams following his US Open triumph. Djokovic wasted a golden chance to break for 2-0 in the decider with a wild smash and Alcaraz made him pay, breaking for 2-1. A frustrated Djokovic collected another code violation for destroying his racket against the net post before he slipped 3-1 down. Alcaraz was not to be denied and he claimed a famous victory when Djokovic buried a forehand in the net. Tokito Oda became the youngest man to win a Wimbledon singles title in any discipline after defeating Alfie Hewitt in the men's wheelchair final on Sunday. The 17-year-old Japanese player won 6-4, 6-2 on number 1 court to earn his second straight Grand Slam title after also winning the French Open in June. "I'm still 17, so I want to open a champagne, but I couldn't," Oda said, "so I have to drink sparkling water." His French Open victory, where he also beat Hewitt in the final, made Oda the youngest man to win a Grand Slam singles title in any discipline, excluding juniors, at 17 years, 33 days. He was 17 years, 69 days when he won the Wimbledon title. Boris Becker was the youngest men's singles champion at the All England Club at 17 years, 228 days in 1985. In the women's wheelchair doubles final, Dede de Groot followed up her singles victory by adding another title alongside Joyce Griffin. The Dutch pair beat Yui Kamizi of Japan and Kogutacho Monjane of South Africa 6-1, 6-4. De Groot beat Griffin in the singles final on Saturday for her 11th straight Grand Slam title and 19th overall. She now has 17 in doubles, including 3 at Wimbledon. It was the 15th major doubles title for Griffin. Clive Ngannou of the United States and Henry Searle of Britain won the junior singles titles at Wimbledon on Sunday. The 16-year-old Ngannou became the second straight American and 15th overall to win the girls' singles title at the All England Club by beating Nikola Bertenkova of the Czech Republic 6-2, 6-2. Liv had won it last year, becoming only the second American in 30 years to do so. Ngannou didn't drop a set throughout the tournament en route to her first Grand Slam singles title. "I'm really excited that this is my first," said Ngannou, who lives in Orlando, Florida. "It was a battle out there." Searle became the first British player in 61 years to win the boys' singles title, defeating Yaroslav Demin 6-4, 6-4 in front of a partisan crowd on #1 court. "It's a pretty special feeling and it is not going to come too often, and I'm going to try and enjoy it," Searle said. "It was amazing in front of this crowd today." Gabriel Volpita of Italy and Jakub Filip of the Czech Republic won the boys' doubles title by beating Branko Juric of Serbia and Arthur Guy of France 6-3, 6-3. In the girls' doubles final, Czech duo Laura Samsonova and Elena Kovačkova beat British pair Hannah Klugman and Isabel Lacey 6-4, 7-5. Now it's time for some latest world soccer stories. Lionel Messi has finalized his deal to join Major League Soccer, and after years of planning and pursuing, Inter Miami has landed a global icon. Messi's contract became official on Saturday, a little more than 5 weeks after he declared that he would be coming to Inter Miami. "I am very excited to start this next step in my career with Inter Miami and in the United States," Messi, who moves from Paris Saint-Germain, said in a statement. "This is a fantastic opportunity, and together we will continue to build this beautiful project. The idea is to work together to achieve the objective we set, and I'm very eager to start helping here in my new home," he added. The team introduced the Argentina superstar on Sunday night at its stadium in Fort Lauderdale, and the first home match of the Messi era could be as early as Friday, a Leagues Cup match against Cruz Azul. A formal news conference is scheduled for Monday, and his first training session with his new club is expected on Tuesday. The club previously announced that Messi's deal will be for 2.5 seasons and will pay him between $50 million and $60 million annually, putting the total contract value between $125 million and $150 million in cash alone. Now let's have latest boxing story. Undisputed lightweight champion David Haney was arrested on a felony weapons charge Thursday in Los Angeles, according to police. Haney was charged with carrying a concealed weapon in a vehicle and released on $35,000 bond. An August 3 municipal court date was set, online court records showed. Haney was in the back seat when police conducted a traffic stop. Bill Haney, the boxer's father, trainer and manager, told ESPN. The elder Haney said the charge is a misunderstanding that will be solved when David goes to court. "It's unfortunate that he was arrested with his armed licensed security, and I'm confident things are going to be worked out." Haney retained his titles and improved to 30-0 in May with a unanimous decision over Vasily Lomachenko at 135 pounds in Las Vegas. Now let's have some latest basketball stories. The 2024 WNBA All-Star Game is headed to Phoenix, setting up as a home game for Brittany Griner and Diana Taurasi and a send-off to the U.S. Olympic women's basketball team. WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert announced Saturday that the event would be hosted by the Phoenix Mercury. "Since I've been in the league, they have done so much," Engelbert said. "They are so great to work with under the new ownership with Matt Ishbia." Ishbia, who took ownership of the Mercury and the Suns in February, was thrilled to have a chance to host the game that's being played this weekend in Las Vegas. The All-Star Skills Competition and three-point contest that was held on Friday saw a record performance from Sabrina Lunsky, who hit 25 of 27 three-pointers, including 20 straight at one point. "It's a real big deal for our franchise, elevating us and continuing to make it a franchise that has events like this," Ishbia said in a phone interview. "It's big for our community and we are looking to put on a great show for our fans, community and the whole country, and continue to elevate the women's game." Griner played in the All-Star contest the last time the game was in Phoenix in 2014. "I'm lucky enough for it to be coming back again," she said after dominating in her return to the All-Star game on Saturday. "I know Phoenix and the Mercury organization are going to put on one hell of an All-Star. To play there in front of our fans, the city is going to come out. Everyone's going to turn up. It's going to be a real good time. The game is expected to be similar to the 2021 version that featured the US Olympic team playing against players not selected for that team. The All-Star squad beat the US team that year 93-83. Brittney Griner made an emphatic and emotional return to the WNBA's mid-season showcase event. She scored 18 points, including her team's first 6, and put down 2 dunks in the league's All-Star game on Saturday night. The sellout crowd roared when Griner was introduced, and clearly moved by the ovation, she tapped her chest over her heart with her right hand. There was no doubt that a year after being forced to miss this event while detained in Russia, Griner was the star of the show. "To have that ovation and all those little memories that I can cherish now, it means the world," Griner said. "So it was no question I was going to come and play. They have never wavered in their support." Griner led Team Stewart, captained by the New York Liberty's Breanna Stewart, to a 143-127 victory over Team Wilson, led by the Las Vegas Aces' A'ja Wilson. The 143 points and 270 combined points are All-Star game records. Team Stewart's Jewel Lloyd of the Seattle Storm broke the All-Star game scoring record with 31 points, setting the mark on a pass from Griner. Maya Moore and Kelsey Plum shared the previous record of 30 points. Lloyd earned MVP honors for the game. "I played hurt because of my parents. I didn't get them a gift for their anniversary," Lloyd said. "So I think this was acceptable. I hope it is." Plum actually tied her own record with 30 points, one of 4 aces competing for Team Wilson, who received loud ovations from the home crowd in pre-game introductions. Plum, who also had 5 assists, said sponsors pledged to donate $1,000 to a Las Vegas charity for each basket and assist. "So I was gunning," Plum said. "I mean, 17 shots in 21 minutes is wild." She raised $16,000. LeBron James is not only coming back for a 21st season, he is coming back in his original uniform number. James will return to number 23 next season, a move the Los Angeles Lakers revealed Saturday by tweeting a picture of his bag with James' name and number showing on the gold jersey. James has alternated between number 23 and number 6 after wearing 23 when he entered the NBA in 2003 with the Cleveland Cavaliers. He was in number 6 while becoming the NBA's career scoring leader last season, a number now retired by the league following the death of Boston Celtics Hall of Famer Bill Russell. Rich Paul, James' agent, told ESPN that James decided to make the switch out of respect for Russell. James said Wednesday during the broadcast of the ESPY Awards that he would continue playing next season. Now, latest American football story. Tight end Evan Ingram and the Jacksonville Jaguars agreed Sunday to a 3-year, $41.25 million contract that includes $24 million guaranteed, according to a person familiar with negotiations. The person spoke to the Associated Press on condition of anonymity because the deal had not been signed or made public. His agent, Mike McCartney, announced via Twitter that the deal had been reached. Ingram weighed in a few minutes later by posting a picture of himself at Everbank Field with the caption, "I am home," along with the praying hands emoji. The sides beat a Monday afternoon deadline for franchise-tagged players to sign long-term deals. Ingram had been guaranteed a one-year, $11.345 million deal this season under the franchise tag, but he and the team had been vocal about wanting a long-term deal. Now Ingram will be a key part of Jacksonville's push to repeat as AFC South champions and beyond. His new average salary of $13.75 million puts him sixth at the position, trailing Darren Waller, George Kittle, Travis Kelce, Dallas Goedert, and Mark Andrews. Now let's have latest golf story. Rory McIlroy birdied the last two holes in whipping wind Sunday for a 268 to win the Genesis Scottish Open, his first victory on Scottish soil, and take a load of confidence into the final major of the year. McIlroy was one shot behind Robert McIntyre when he played the slope to near perfection on the par 3 17th for a 4-foot birdie putt to tie for the lead. Then he delivered what McIlroy called his best shot of the year, a 2-iron into the wind to 10 feet for a final birdie. It was a heartbreaker for McIntyre, who was trying to win his National Open and delivered a class shot of his own. McIntyre hammered a 3-wood from the rough on the 18th hole at the Renaissance Club to 4 feet, pumping both fists when it dropped for a 64. It was a remarkable closing round given the wind that was rough and relentless of the 4th, and it looked for the longest time that it would give the 26-year-old McIntyre the signature victory of his young career. Instead, it was McIlroy who played the tough back nine in 31 and kept it off with 2 clutch birdies for his first win since the Dubai Desert Classic. The victory came at an ideal time. McIlroy heads south to Royal Liverpool for the British Open, where he tries to end his 9-year drought in the majors. McIlroy won the Claret Jug the last time the Open was played at Royal Liverpool in 2014. Let's have latest auto race story. John Hunter Nemechek had one thought inside the dominant car of the day as the NASCAR race at New Hampshire was set to resume after a few extra laps and one final caution. "Don't mess up," he said. "No need to worry." Nemechek survived a wreck-marred NASCAR race Saturday at New Hampshire Motor Speedway and won for the 4th time this season in the Xfinity Series. "I expect to win with the best car," he said. "It's not exciting, but it's exciting for me." The 26-year-old Nemechek followed last week's win at Atlanta with another dominant performance for Joe Gibbs Racing. Nemechek pulled away of the final caution, the perfect spot to avoid one more final wipeout behind him. Nemechek rolled in the number 20 Toyota to the finish line under caution, the 10th of race that ended the race under the white flag. "This is one of the first weekends where we had no issues, no mistakes," Nemechek said. It's a familiar path to victory lane for Nemechek, who became the first Xfinity driver to win consecutive races this season. He took the lead of the final restart in Atlanta and drove away from the pack to earn his 3rd victory of the season. The race was slowed by wild wrecks after restarts and a slew of damaged cars limped to the garage. Cole Cluster and Shelton Creed wrecked to bring out the final caution. That was enough to help Chandler Smith, who started from the pole, to finish in 2nd place. He was followed by Austin Hill, Daniel Hemrick, and Sammy Smith. 7-time Cup Series champion Jimmy Johnson and his former crew chief of the number 48 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet Chad Knowles headline a list of 15 nominees for the NASCAR Hall of Fame class of 2024. There are 10 nominees on the Modern Era ballot and 5 on the Pioneer ballot, which is designed to honor those whose careers began more than 60 years ago. 2 Modern Era candidates and 1 Pioneer candidate will be selected for the Hall of Fame when the 61-person committee meets on August 2. Together, Johnson and Nos won cup titles in 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2013 and 2016. Johnson's 7 titles as a driver tie him with Dale Earnhardt and Richard Petty for the most in NASCAR history. Joining Johnson and Nos on the modern era ballot are former drivers Carl Edwards, Neil Bonnet, Jeff Burton, Ricky Rude, Harry Gant, Tim Brewer, Harry Hyde, and Larry Phillips. Donnie Allison, an original member of the fan-favorite Alabama gang, will be on the Pioneer ballot for the first time, along with fellow drivers A.J. Foyt and Sam Earth, car builder Banjo Matthews, and car owner Ralph Moody. Longtime NASCAR executive Les Richter joins the Landmark Award ballot for the first time after being on the Hall of Fame ballot 3 times before the award was created. The Landmark Award honors those who made significant contributions to the growth and esteem of NASCAR. Now let's have some latest cricket stories. Australia retained the women's Ashes after Nat Seiver-Brown's 111 not out narrowly failed to prevent a 3-run defeat for England in the second ODI on Sunday. England fell short on 279 for 7, with Seiver-Brown's attempted slog sweep for 6 from Jess Jonason's last delivery of the match only going for 1. A 4 would have taken the game to a super over. England's victory in Bristol on Wednesday had levelled the multi-format series at 6-6 in points, but Heather Knight's side knew only a 4th consecutive win over the world champions would keep alive their hopes of winning back the urn. Put into bat first at Southampton's Ageas Bowl, Australia posted 282 for 7 with Elise Perry hitting 91 and Annabelle Sutherland adding 50. But it was Georgia Warham who changed the momentum with 24 runs of the final over. Opener Tammy Beaumont ensured England's chase started strongly with 60, but wickets fell regularly, with the recalled Alana King claiming 3 for 44 from her 10 overs. Seiver-Brown's presence kept alive England's faint hopes and she reached another century against Australia, but could not get the required 15 runs from Jonason's final over. The win puts Australia 8-6 up in the series with only 1 ODI left to play in Taunton, which means the urn will remain with Alyssa Healy's side. 3 days after winning their first match in 5 years against India, Bangladesh women's cricket team today registered their maiden one-day international victory over their neighbours with a 40-run victory in DLS method. Young pacer Marufa Akhtar led the charge with the ball, taking 4 wickets for 29 runs as Bangladesh defended a lowish total of 152 runs. In a run-curtailed first ODI at the Sher-e-Bangla National Stadium in Mirpur. This is Bangladesh's first ODI win in the format against their vaunted neighbours, having lost all 5 previous encounters. Put into bat first, Bangladesh posted 152 for 9, with Sharna Akhtar failing to bat due to an injury. In 43 overs in this 44-over game, captain Nigar Sultan scored innings high of 39. In reply, India were bowled out for 113 in 33.5 overs, with Marufa taking 4 and Rabia Khatun taking 3 wickets. Bangladesh clinched the 2-match T20 international series against Afghanistan with a 6-wicket win in the second T20 international at the Sylhet International Cricket Stadium on Sunday. Before this series, Bangladesh and Afghanistan had played 2 bilateral series in the format, with Rashid Khan and team winning one and the other one ending in a draw. The Tigers chased down the 117-run target as skipper Shakib Al Hasan guided his side to victory with an 11-ball, 18-run knock, while Shamim Hussain hit the winning runs with 5 balls remaining. The host got off to a flying as openers Litan Dash and Afif Hussain put up a 67-run stand, but Afghanistan spinner Mujibur Rahman struck twice in the 10th over to bring back the visitors into the contest. In the following over, Nazmul Hossain Shanto, who scored a 6-ball 4, played all over a full and straight delivery of pacer Azmatullah Omarzai. This reduced the Tigers to 76 for the loss of 3 after 11 overs. Mujib came on and sent back Litton, who managed to score 35 runs of 36 balls. With the first delivery, of the 10th over, courtesy of a stunning catch at covers from Afghanistan skipper Rashid Khan. And Afif's 20-ball 24 came to an end as was caught at deep mid-wicket while trying to slog sweep on the third delivery of the over. After scoring 50 runs in the first 5 overs, Bangladesh could only manage 20 runs in the next 5, which caused the potentially straightforward chase to become interesting at the later stage. That's all in today's sports world. Keep watching Millennium Sports World for latest sports update. Millennium TV USA and Millennium News 24 network is transmitted and available to be watched free for all LED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with the Sky Network, Worldwide Jagu TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jagu BD Network and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with us for all types of informative and entertainment programs. Thank you.